Hello and welcome back to Redirecting. I finally got an opportunity to get out here in the garden. We just had a bit of rain, and so it's kind of wet right now, which is fine with me, but got a nice work day in, so I decided to come on out here and share some tips with those of you who have been asking that we do more garden videos. You have to excuse the mess right now. Things are kind of in disarray because we've been doing a lot of transplanting in various places. I would say that we are planting so much more than we did last year that it's a trip. It's a real trip, family. But let me just get over here real quick. I'm going to talk about some of what we are looking at here. You see some things that are going to seed. These are things that we had planted last fall. And as you all know, there is talk of a seed shortage. And so we said, you know what, these things that have gone to seed, we are going to allow them to do that so that we can harvest our seeds. But one thing I wanted to show you, even though these have gone to seed, we have still been harvesting some really good size leaves off of these greens, you see. Now, the really, really big ones we've already taken, but we still have some decent sized leaves that we can still harvest. But I wanted to go ahead and save these so that these will develop into seeds. Right now they're in the pods. The bees pollinate them, and so we will be able to collect thousands of seeds from these green varieties that we have planted here, you see. And so again, there are still leaves that we can eat off of these. You just kind of have to pick through, but it's well worth it, considering that this is going to amount to thousands of seeds. But not only that, they're beautiful. They are absolutely beautiful. Okay, so I just wanted to explain that part as well. We have kale and mustard and collards, and so this is great. This is great. Now, what I have been able to do with some of the beds, like this one right here, I just planted. You just plant the same type of seed around the base. So when this is finished and we're able to get that older plant out of there, some of the newer ones will be growing. We have things in the greenhouse. We like to start them in the greenhouse. You can do direct sow as well, but this is just a preference. Since we had so many of the trays, we've been kind of doing things this way. Like earlier today, you see right there, we have spinach that was transplanted out here. We have some other spinach that's a lot more mature in other areas, and so these are just transplants. What you like to do when growing food, and maybe I'll do a separate video talking about succession planting. You don't want to just plant once in a season, a particular crop. You want to plant several times if you have the space to do so, a particular crop. So I'll talk about that in another video. I just kind of wanted to show around some things that we're doing. Earlier today we were working on this grow tunnel, greenhouse, whatever you want to call it. But this is a makeshift greenhouse that we've put together using cattle panels. And inside we're going to use a combination of raised beds and containers. But before we do that, we are going to cover the ground because we're not planting in the ground. This is going to be for containers and raised beds, so the ground will be covered so we don't have to deal with the weeds. Okay, my husband is calling me, so I got to cut my video short. He needs me to take a look at something or do something, so I got to go ahead and cut the video short. I'll come back to what I was doing here. There's another greenhouse there, or a grow tunnel, and as you see, another one in the distance. That's two separate ones there. But I gotta go check and see what my sweetheart wants, and I'll get back to the garden tour later on. Shalom.